Droid identity is
Hey everybody, welcome back
We lost
to the
Jamie.
HoloNet Marauders
Jamie's gone.
podcast and HoloNet Marauders Live. Jamie is
Hey everybody, the
there.
best showed up this week.
Right.
I want everyone
get
to
to
know that it showed up this week. Goodbye.
And that's Jamie for the episode. That's a wrap on Jamie.
And that's it. Continue.
That's a wrap. So another episode of Bad Batch and another episode without Gonki, which is a tragedy. Where is Gonki?
Where is
How can you
he?
make him have such a pivotal moment of season one, literally saving the entire crew from certain death,
How can you make him
and
the
then
star
not
of season
show
one?
him at all?
Have
then
we
just
seen
not
him
have him in
since
season two?
he like
No.
short circuited?
So we have not. We have
So he
not
could be
seen
dead?
him. He could be.
Or
He
fried.
was always defective. So maybe
Wait
he
a
was beyond
minute.
repair. I don't want to think that way
you
because
telling
they've
me
literally
Gonki's
given us a
dead?
new droid like every single episode, and Gonki could have so many friends.
Next
But
week is
we
a
haven't seen
For
him.
sure.
Gonki and AZ episode. Just them.
Oh yeah, give me a
and
that-
Mel. We'll get to Mel.
yeah, and Mel too. Like every droid we've seen this season, just have them all. They all like maybe everyone gets captured in the cantina, and they have to like one of those like we got to sneak around while everyone's in trouble and save the day.
And you
And
know who's
it's-
back? Meeber
And they're led
Gascon.
by- Yep, I was gonna say.
Oh
Meaver
no!
Gascon.
And they play our version of the theme. It's a bunch of droids walking around, and all you hear.
Can Gonki truly be dead as long as you've practiced proper data redundancy?
Do you
No,
think they've done
which-
that? Do you think the Bad Batch has uploaded Gonki's
Tech has.
That is I was gonna say that's a
Personality
disrespect to
somewhere?
Tech and or Echo's.
That's a
ability.
disrespect. Tech.
But they on purpose had a defective droid, and like they were just like, oh whatever. They like didn't think much of it, and like Omega took the time to like fix Gonki more. So like they cared about Gonki, but also like what's going on? Get that Kadu out
like-
of here!
We got here wild calories run across the screen, crikey.
Crikey.
What?
Right, this is Boba Fett here. We're back here with Star
No.
Wars creatures. No, I'm sorry.
Damn, nature, you're scary.
I couldn't remember what alien it was. I've been waiting to drop that since the first time you ran it across the screen.
The Kadu?
Yeah, you
say
activated my
Kadu.
trap card, Jamie.
I
Sorry,
think that's a real animal.
Oh,
What animal is that?
Husa Yusa.
sir. That is racist. That is a gunman, and his name is Jar Jar.
Oh, my God.
And
Anyway,
there's for anyone listening, we're playing with our Star Wars creature toys.
Yeah,
Mm.
sorry.
Left out. I have no
But
Star
back
Wars
to the bad.
creatures
Handle it,
nearby to play
couldn't-
with.
we had a big Bolo and Catch episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Those two dopes.
I
I
love-
love all of it. They're so dumb.
Fee is such
Oh,
like the
man.
classic pirate of telling the tale, but embellishing the tale every time. Like changing
Hondo
it
would
up,
be
doing
proud.
that. If you guys have played Monkey Island, that's a
That's like an entire task you need to do in Monkey Island. In the second one,
the newest
Or
one.
the newest one, yeah, you
Yeah.
have to like go to different people to like learn how to tell a proper pirate story, and they're just like, oh, you gotta embellish it a little bit more. Oh, you gotta add like a personal like touch to it. Oh, you gotta add something that's really unbelievable, but something really believable. And it's really funny the way you gotta piece it together. And I love how like Fee's telling the story, and Tech's just like, that's not what she said last time.
I know.
He's actuallying her actual story.
I don't know.
And
you know, Hondo would be so proud if he was there. He's like,
Yeah.
that's my go.
Oh, absolutely.
shout out to Star Wars Skinny. We went on his show a few weeks ago, and he pointed out it was an episode about Sidon Athano, and he wanted to talk to us about it and
Mhm.
like Star Wars pirates. And I didn't really think of it until this season. Really, it's been more obvious that the Bad Batch are essentially just pirates themselves.
They are.
They're treasure hunting this whole season. So
You know what? I tricked all of
I'm
you.
good at it.
I tricked all of you. HoloNet Marauders was always supposed to be about pirates. That's it. I
We've been
They've been
trickology.
playing a lot of
I
I mean,
seasons.
told-
their ship is even named the Marauders, so it's like
I
That's-
told
wow.
Jennifer Corbett, Brad Brown, Dave Filoni to do all of this stuff. I'm just kidding. I did not actually say that. I didn't know that this show was a thing. The concept was a thing
3
until
years
like
ago.
3 years ago.
See, but you just told a very good pirate story. You embellished, you added a personal touch, and and something so unbelievable yet so believable.
There you go.
So there's
And the
there's
best was in the episode. I got the look at everything.
unbelievable.
Yeah, so Jamie, tell another tale of how you about the
A
vest.
tale?
Because half
About
the
the
people probably
vest?
have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay. So audio people are probably just like, why does she keep talking about a vest? What's happening? So I have made, based on the trailers, Hunter's under vest that he wears under his armor. It's like 3 layers, first of all, and there's 3 layers that I also want to remake. That's a different story. I found a new detail finally in the episode, and I kind of want to cry, but it's okay. I'm gonna do it anyway. And yeah, but this was the first episode the vest actually showed up in, and everyone has an undervest, which I think is the coolest thing. That not only is everyone getting a costume change, but everyone is also letting loose a little and just hanging out at Sid's bar. And I love how it's also like kind of like really reflective of like what they are like as well. Like Echoes is like really like insulated and like really like tight. And it looks like he's pretty damn cozy in it. Hunter's is very like tactical. He definitely has like a lot of like extra stuff just like in his pockets. Next. Text is really practical. It like wraps around so you can easily like put it on, take it off. And then Wrecker is out here wearing actual football pads under his armor. So
Yeah, how does that work?
if you've noticed, like in the thing so far, it looks like Wrecker has 2 sets of armor. It's his under armor. So he has like his under layers, but he is also
Sponsored.
wearing this like brown, like grav ball armor, like underneath his regular armor.
Grab ball.
Must
I
chafe
love it.
really bad against his
Yeah.
shoulders.
I am obsessed with it. So that's what's going on with the vest. And I've been dying to talk about the vest, guys. I've been dying to talk about the vest. It's just the trailer back in like December. I feel like wanted to see the vest, and now I can finally talk about the vest, and it's here, and we're good. And
I'll be honest, I
Not-
had absolutely no idea what the hell that vest was when you were showing it off, but I was just playing along.
you know what
Now
sucks
I
the most?
now I know too much.
Not
about
only
the
are all those costume changes real, but we can't stop talking about them. It's all they're saying upstairs.
vest. I'm talking about upstairs.
Upstairs. It doesn't help that you see it when they're in Sid's bar. So it's like the darkest scene you ever seen. So I'm taking screen caps and like jumping the brightness up. So it's like
Yeah.
ridiculously like insane, like looking at these. But I'm like, oh yeah, now I can see there's like some like details on the side. Someone told me there's box pleats on the side, and I want to cry.
Instead of just waiting for a lighter scene, probably somewhere
Like next
somewhere
week.
down the line, because they took all that time to model him in a vest. They're not going to use him for just one dark scene.
I don't know what it is about Star Wars shows, but they always have this knack of being just lit enough to understand what's going on and not
Mhm.
feel
Lit,
like it's
alright.
dark. However, as soon as you go to like make out details, you're like, what? How is there this much shadow draping over all these details? I'm trying to
What
know.
are you guys
When I was
doing to your
Cobb
own
Vanth,
work?
Cobb Vanth is in the sun. He is under 2 suns. And I
Yeah.
still
Double the
couldn't get
suns.
certain details right. It was crazy.
There's so much
Don't
going on.
watch it on your iPad. Disney Plus just loves to darken the hell out of it on the iPad.
They do.
On iOS.
But yeah, that's my vest chat. A couple weeks ago we had vest hair because Crosshair's vest. And then my
Vest
Hunter's
hair.
vest.
Jeez,
I could go on
Louise.
for years.
The
It's the
Kiner
same
brothers.
podcast.
The Kiner
Holy
brothers tweeted about that.
crap.
I was gonna say, like, speaking of Vester, so the Kiner brothers tweeted the awful meme of Vester. I loved their spoiler tweet for this week. It was just the ancient aliens guy just doing the
Perfect.
Aliens.
Perfect.
You're too
because
invested.
that's what we got this episode, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did.
Anyway,
Yeah, we did.
if you're in the chat and you're still around after listening to me talk about vests for like 5 minutes straight, thank you. That's all I have to say.
And that's a wrap.
No,
That's
no,
it.
we're done.
Good night.
A quick thing, like costume changes are always so funny in Star Wars because it's like, where did the Bad Batch get these vests? Where did Rey get her outfit for
Oh
in
yeah,
Last Jedi? Like,
I love these kind of details.
where did she get her like cool brown throne room outfit? Like that was just
You
on
know-
the Falcon. Like,
Sometimes you can
point.
explain them very easily. Other times it's like, where the heck, when would she have time? You know, like
Yeah.
with Han, when I
When
was
she-
building my Han outfit for Empire, I was trying to figure out what made A New Hope versus Empire so different on his Hellster rig. And what I learned is that other than the leather being a darker tone on the A New Hope, the belt buckle pieces, buckles, they're flipped. So and like everything else is the same. Like the leather is still the same on both parts. So that means in canon, one day Han was just looking at his belt and he's just like, maybe I should try backsies. Yeah, I'm gonna try backsies frontsies. We're gonna see how that looks.
Just a wumbo.
Hey Chewie. Hey, Chewie, how's this look? You like this? Does this look good? I'm gonna keep it like this.
If anyone
Empire
would,
started.
like this.
Han Solo would.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Holy crap!
God.
That and
So
raiding
Bad Batch.
Lando's closet.
Well, yeah, or Lando raiding his closet at the,
Well,
at the end of
makes
Empire.
Chicken and the egg there, really.
That makes sense though.
They're just
Yeah, this
Hey.
is payback, Han.
there's something
Man.
going on between them. Okay.
Oh yeah, I should.
So anyway, Alden
Fee.
Enric made an Instagram recently, and everyone was abuzz that apparently he might be like that's a different thing. But
I would love for him to come back. I'm just
a lot of
saying.
buzz. Make Solo 2 happen, everybody. Just
They
yell
learned-
about it. Just yell about it. I would
They
love a
learned the
Solo
wrong lesson
series.
from that movie.
Please, they did learn the wrong lesson from that movie.
They did.
They should have
Really
learned that
good.
franchise fatigue can be a thing with
Alden-
all franchises.
Alden Ehrenreich was so good as Han Solo. I can't even tell you how good he was. He was so good as Han Solo.
Yeah.
Give
Yeah.
me
Because like
more.
he wasn't like.
And I
Oh, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, give me more movies of that entire like Solo crew,
Yeah.
as actual actors. Don't use your goddamn AI software. I'm sorry.
So Jamie, what you're
no.
telling me is that
Yeah.
you would like a Lego special based on the Solo characters. Is that what I'm hearing? That's what I'm hearing. Okay, I'll get
where the
horn-
Lego
on the
looks
horn.
exactly like Alden Ehrenreich,
You say the
but it's
Solo
computer
crew.
generated.
Who's left?
Well, Kira's still around. Lando's still around.
Kira's
Well,
around.
Kira's
but
busy.
She's
And
What do you-
Enfys. So and
What do
Chewie,
you
obviously.
mean? I mean, they could just pick up right after Solo 1 and have Chewie and Solo doing Jabba's run,
Yeah.
Lando doing whatever. I mean, Lando probably wouldn't come back. Donald Glover might come back, but Lando's
He's
fucked
doing his
right
own
off.
thing.
He's done. He's out of there.
Doing his own thing.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
So
and
that
Kira,
batch.
yeah.
Bad Batch.
Oh yeah,
Bad
Bad
Batch.
Batch.
So I like Fee a lot. I
Yeah.
love having more characters, especially of color, in Star
need-
Wars.
Live action Fee played by Wanda Sykes.
That would
That'd be
be
great.
Yeah,
incredible.
I mean,
That
how
would be
easy is
so
that
good.
to do? Literally, just like,
it's not
just-
like they didn't model her after her. So
Yeah.
I part of me wishes that it was Afra, but at the same time, like we're always talking about like let's not make things too overconnected. Like let's,
True.
there-
And
there
at this
doesn't have to
point
be
in
cameo
time-
central every time.
I'm actually
like,
reading all the
might be too
comics
young.
right now.
For
So
Afra?
I'm reading all
Yeah,
the
it's
comics
super
in
young,
order. So I'm on Afra volume 3, I think.
Mhm.
And at that point in time, Afra is like straight up just like a bad person. She would not she would not
wouldn't
be
mess with
doing
these
anything
losers.
with the Bad Batch. She would be trying to sell them down the river at any point.
Yeah.
For sure.
She's just an
She is
awful,
bad news.
awful
I
person.
mean, even with Fee, I'm like, I'm watching you, girl. I
Even
don't
with-
know what's going on here.
Fee is at least a little not. I mean,
She's better by
Afra is
the other
obviously very personal, or personable, but Fee just has like something about her that, in my opinion, seems way more trustworthy. Afra literally just seems like she's waiting for you to turn around and steal your wallet and push you down the stairs and then leave.
Yeah,
at
'cause,
any
like-
point in time.
because Fee is likable, but Afra as a protagonist to observe is relatable. But if you were another character interacting with her, yeah, you just end up
You'd be
losing your
screwed,
wallet.
you're done. I literally
yeah.
just read the comic last night where she kidnaps Hera, so that was fun. Can't wait to
Oh.
see what
Hmm.
happens with that. I know.
I wonder
But
what
still,
happens.
These are great.
That'd be cool.
great
That would be cool.
These are great comics. Great comics. Dr. Afra. Everybody should read Dr. Afra. If you're going to read one comic series, read the central comic series that you can't get anywhere else because they refuse to put Afra in anything else, unfortunately,
Mm.
which is unfair. Anyway, Bad Batch.
Bad Batch.
So how we
yeah,
just keep
so-
going on to
so-
other things.
Well,
So
we
many
keep like
related
making our
things.
connections, but I love Fee. Like I like in
Yeah, me
like
too.
rewatching it. She's
she's
really
fun.
like obviously she's just in this episode. Well, she's in like the first one, just being like, "Hey Sid, I gave you some information."
Hey.
But
And hey, Tech, you're hot as hell.
she was okay. She was pretty much flirting with every single one of them as well. So like, it's just perfect.
just her
That's
style.
that's just your style. Like just
piratey style.
Unfair
fast
to
and
Tech.
loose being a pirate. I adore Fee though, and I hope that we get to like actually see her again. I think that we will at least like once or twice.
You don't
But
bring
like,
Wanda Sykes on for her to just kind of pop in one episode and then leave.
Yeah, no.
Same with Rhea Perlman. You didn't bring Rhea Perlman on for one episode.
Yeah.
You brought her on for the show. So
These
Yeah.
are ladies who aren't going to be familiar with Star Wars, so you have to explain Star Wars first to sell them on the concept. You have to
Yeah.
do all that legwork only for 2 episodes?
no
I'll buy
way,
it.
no way, no way.
Do you think
Yeah.
Wanda Sykes watches Star Wars?
Now
I
she
think
does.
I think that she's probably.
I would love
seen,
like
the
her
originals.
live commentary of just all the movies.
Oh
She
my
doesn't,
God, I'd watch
she
the
doesn't
hell out
strike
of
me
that.
as
The hell
someone
is
who
that?
would have before being cast, but she might watch
Who
it
knows?
afterwards.
You never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never
She's-
know. You really
She's
They're
don't.
catching
doing,
up on
um,
Mando because Fee's going to appear in Mando season 3. You heard it here first.
Oh my god. The I don't know if you guys are familiar, but they're doing like rotating hosts for the Daily Show now. She's hosting it this week actually.
Oh,
Wanda
wow.
Sykes
Oh,
is.
really?
Yeah. Leslie Jones hosted the first week, and now Wanda Sykes is hosting it this week. I think
I
that's a
saw
really
that.
cool concept. They're
I-
doing that
Yeah.
instead
It's
of
almost like
They
they're
ended
one
after,
person.
I
Yeah.
actually had that on last
Maybe they
night,
are.
Not died after Trevor
and I was
left.
like, yesterday was Wanda Sykes Day then, because she was in Star Wars and on the.
Yesterday,
her cup
oh,
runneth
man.
over.
January
Just the
25th.
day.
Wanda
Wanda
Sykes
Sykes
Day.
Day.
Everybody, congratulations.
Make it a
So Bad
national holiday.
Batch. We haven't even
So Bad
talked about
Batch.
the plot. So
Oh my
Fee,
God.
Wait,
Fee is telling her story, and then they're like,
Wow.
Wrecker and Omega come back from the junkyard. By the way, I love how excited Omega is just like getting junk.
Mhm.
Like that's literally
What was
Matt
that
and I
wiffle ball
figure
on a
out thing.
stick? What was
It
that
was-
wiffle ball on a stick?
It was one of those like
Yeah,
little
what was
disco
that?
balls that you get that are like rainbow lights, like as a kid, and then you put it in the room, and you're like, oh, you can have like your own like little disco party. That may be
Oh, yeah,
more
it
of a thing
spins
that
real
like,
slow.
yeah, it's just like,
But then you don't have any friends, so you end up dancing alone in the dark. Not no experience there. Anyway,
what? I love how the show opened with just Wrecker saying he loves a junkyard.
I mean, who doesn't? I do.
It's very on brand.
he's just very at home. He loves
No one's
it.
surprised.
Everybody's a collector. It's for something. I love the compass. I just want to say
Yeah.
It was
more
really cool.
more Star Wars
I don't wanna model
compasses. Absolutely loved the compass that Luke got on Pilio.
Yeah.
Love the compass that they got. It's still Ord Mantell, right? They didn't leave.
It
Yeah,
was all
Lord
Ornamental.
Wh-
You know it was
how does
Ord
that even
Mantell.
happen? How do you even get that junk? What?
You know it was Ord Mantell because Wrecker was wearing his Under Armour pads, just walking around and not wearing half of his armor. He wouldn't be doing that anywhere else. If you were
All
using
right.
your eyes, Matt, you would have seen
In-depth
that.
analyses that I am not getting here.
They got attacked
I'm
on Ord
not paying
Mantell though.
attention.
Well,
There's a
then they'd
scrapyard
be in
probably on.
trouble.
Hey, I don't know. They're just hanging out in Sid's bar getting drunk. That's literally all Echo and Hunter are
Echo
doing this
was
entire
throwing him down.
He was.
We need
season.
like the Echo sip count for this episode.
Oh,
We need an Echo count in general. He's barely showed up.
come on, I know.
More than last season, but yeah.
Oh,
the
true.
first 2 episodes more so, yeah. But
Yeah, he's definitely always he keeps getting sidelined.
they find the compass through the sifting through Omega's junk that she found. That Tech calls it junk, and Fee goes on about, oh, that's the hidden treasure, the heart of the mountain. I don't know what she says at the moment.
Heart of the mountain, yeah. Which
Heart
I
of
was
the
like, I'm
Mountain.
sorry. Are we flying to Middle Earth? What's going on here?
Yeah,
Heart
pretty
of the
much because when they got to the mountain, they were like, oh, we have to go through the mountain. It reminded me of Return of the King when they have to go.
Oh no, yeah, that too.
Oh,
And
I was
we-
thinking Moria too.
I was thinking more.
Well,
Yeah.
all the
No,
times they
you're
go
not
through
wrong,
mountains.
AJ. That's
No.
totally also happens in Return of the King. A weird amount of going through mountains.
Got to go
in
through the
Lord of the
mountains.
Rings
Can't go
series.
around.
And we
Go
needed
around.
Tech to walk
Around.
forward and say, I don't fear death. Or whatever it is.
I mean, he pretty much did. He's like, well, I'm intrigued. Walks there.
Omega at the end. I am no batch.
There you go.
No, but yeah, like I was like, that's an interesting name for like a lost legend of like an ancients. You're not even sure Scala Nor, like you're not even sure like that's them, but that's
Yeah.
where this comes from.
The
A
ancient.
lot of guesswork going into this archaeology dig.
Yeah, seriously.
Hey.
And speaking of archaeology, very
just
Indiana
pirates.
Jones-esque episode.
I thought you were gonna-
Yes.
I thought you were gonna let
Liberating.
one of us finish
She's
that.
a
You kind
liberator.
of paused there.
The music was a super Indiana Jones,
Oh,
and
yeah.
obviously the fact they were
Yeah.
in a tomb.
Everything was Indiana Jones.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah,
Which
the whole
I'll-
thing. But
I'll take a straight up hit all the top hits of your standard adventure plot. I mean, they did the same thing in Resistance, although I just found it more entertaining here.
Yeah.
They did.
I really like the
So-
design of everything Resistance. I just found it made for a way cooler plot for obvious
Wicked-
reasons in this back half.
Wicked interesting. So like that's like the best episode of Resistance, Relic Raiders, in which they like
Mhm.
go to like a Sith temple. And then they find like a random woman in there who's also like a pirate treasure hunter who's really cool.
Oh,
Who was
yeah.
originally supposed to be Asajj Ventress. Fun fact.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, but
Huh.
they didn't do
But
it.
they and then somebody was like, "Wait, she's dead," and they're like, "Oh yeah."
Oh yeah. Wait.
I
no,
was
yeah.
gonna say.
But yeah, then this again, like being in like a treasure hunting thing. I don't know. I like loved it. And like they're
Yeah.
not pirates, but like getting pretty piratey, guys.
At the very least, they're skirting down Indiana Jones's street.
Indiana
Um,
Jones never woke up a giant.
That
farting
or Legend
walking
of
goat.
Zelda. For real. I was getting maybe it's just because I've been playing so much of it lately, but I was like when they were trying to figure out the puzzle and they're like, oh wait, this thing does a thing that will reveal where
that.
we
Yep.
like how the puzzle is supposed to be solved. I'm like,
It's a
that's
shrine.
exactly out of
It
Zelda.
was good. It was
It's a shrine.
very
It came out of the ground
Yep.
after they solved the puzzle.
Got the lens of truth. Now you can
Sheikah,
actually
yeah.
see.
There you go.
It
Lens
was-
of
1,
truth.
2, 3, 4. All right, got it.
it was really good because it was like very influenced on like an actual like temple like you'd like find like somewhere here. Like I've been like playing Assassin's Creed Black Flag recently. And so then there's like one random side thing you can do. You can like adjust to like a Mayan like ruins, and then you find like little like things when you go through them. But it's like very like similar like that way as well with the whole like moving the pieces. But yeah, so in the chat they're already talking about this, but
Yeah,
I
was
am
about to say it.
convinced it's
Are
the
we all-
Zepho.
Yeah,
from
okay.
Fallen
Absolutely.
Order.
Okay.
I
Like,
think I am too, but
Same.
you guys came up with a good reason for it. I've seen a lot
The
of people
same
talk
writer?
about it being yes, that
Yeah.
exactly something that
The what?
nobody else I've seen talk about. This episode had
It's
a
the
writer
same-
from Fallen Order.
One of the main writers from Fallen Order also writes for Bad Batch.
No shit.
So
Yeah.
I don't think it's
It
a
did remind me
coincidence.
of a Zepho puzzle too.
I mean, I'm literally. It's funny. I'm rereading the comics and I'm playing Fallen Order, and this episode couldn't be more perfect for those two things to converge on.
Seriously, I thought
somebody
about you.
pointed
when that
out.
happened.
I can't remember if it was like a YouTube video I watched or something, but they pointed out how like the head of this like Horizon Zero Dawn looking mofo
Oh yeah,
looked a lot like the Sentinels that you fight in Underground
Exactly.
Zepho.
and
Yeah.
then-
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
the
can't
Sentinels
let's say and the laser
fire a
beam.
big
Yeah.
blue laser beam out of
The
their
laser
chest
beam
from a
sells
little
it.
hole. Same exact
Same
looking
color.
laser beam, same
Yep.
color, all that.
So
So-
the writer is Matt Miknovets.
Yeah.
I might have mispronounced that, but yeah.
Mitch Novitz.
That does it.
Matt
Michnovitz.
Michnovitz,
Yeah.
come on our
My
show.
apologies.
You're listening
much-
right now. I know you are.
Pretty
Come
much
on
for
our
those
show.
who might not be familiar, pretty much think of any of like the best episodes of Clone Wars or Rebels. This guy wrote them.
Yeah,
like
he
Or
did.
the best game, Fallen Order.
yes.
that.
Yeah, that too.
This guy's good.
Um,
This guy's
But
good.
yeah,
Come
I'd
on
say
our
this
show.
is like I'd say if it's not Zepho, I will be like really, really surprised. Because like
I think
it
it's meant
fits
to
the bill.
invoke
It's
Zepho.
ancient and it's lost to time.
The heck
That's
are they
what the
doing?
Zepho
Building
were.
giant
have these, like-
glassing mechs.
Wild
That's-
heads. It looks like the old like tech like in like Fallen Order like as well, and like I don't know, terrifying
Well, that's
beams
what
of
the
light.
Zepho
It
did.
recontextualizes the Zepho to me because
Well,
at
no, 'cause
first I
it's-
just saw them as like very like guarded keepers of this mystical knowledge, and
Yeah.
now it's like if it's them, then
the whole
They-
point in Fallen Order that
little more
they tell the
Rakatan.
story of the Zepho. The Zepho, you know, they became obsessed with the wind, which is just the Force, but they call it the wind because they're wind people. Zepho.
quills.
They became obsessed with the Force. They tried to study it, but then they turned to the dark side and became evil. That was like the whole point. That's why they
Oh.
leave. That's why they leave the galaxy, is because all the Zepho became evil.
That looked like a pretty evil robot to me.
So
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
again, that fits
Thank you for that.
perfectly into it. They're creating these
Yeah.
giant walkers that literally just go nuts and destroy entire planets. Like that's exactly what you would expect from the
Good
evil
call.
phase of the Zepho before they leave.
For sure.
I want more Zepho. I want more Zepho. Where is it?
Oh yeah, I haven't even considered if Jedi Survivor is going to give us more Zepho, but before
I-
we get too deep into that, because bad.
I tried to make a prediction when I beat Fallen Order. I thought to myself, where Cal is going to end up, because I don't want to see him just get killed off because there can't be any Jedi around during the dark times or whatever. I always predicted him ending up with the Zepho, going out and finding wherever they went, finishing Eno Cordova's work instead of restoring the Jedi, which he gives up on at the end of Fallen Order. Spoilers, sorry. Whatever he's doing in this game, I have no idea what he could be doing in this game. I thought
Trolling
the
the
sequel was going to
Imperials
be
for
them.
Fighting
searching for
scout
the
troopers
Zepho.
at batons.
Yeah, but no, I guess not. We'll have to see. I don't know. Anyway, Bad Batch.
Bad Batch.
I know Jack brought us back on track, and then Matt just kept going.
I'm sorry.
It's
I
still
tried to
mine.
just pick it a little tip, but no, that was good info. So I mean, why not? I mean, and it's so
I mean,
connected
it's
with
relevant.
theory.
Zepho.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
So,
We keep finding relevant things to tangent.
Yeah.
True. This episode weirdly connects to a lot of things
does.
tangentially.
let's go back in the run of the show before the big Beck monster reveals itself. When they're just in the tomb still. Let's go back.
The Death
Yeah.
Claw.
Let's do it.
Before
Yeah,
they
why was
separated or
that-
after?
What was that? Why was that there? It didn't
looked
do
just like a
anything.
Death Claw.
It
from
looked
Fallout.
No,
like
it
a
was just
Death
there to cause
Claw.
more ruckus during the end. Like,
Like,
wasn't that the same creature that came back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It
Okay, yeah.
drooled on Wrecker, and then they threw it out the window.
Turns out it was actually
Yeah,
a good
Super
guy the
Mario
whole
Brothers
time.
style.
It was like, better not wake up that mech. Don't do it. And they're
Do you
like,
think
shut
that
up,
thing
animal.
was also ancient and it was like locked in there? Because I don't know how else it would have gotten in.
Maybe this is
Uh,
just me as a cat person, but I think that was just an animal with a territory that kept getting invaded. And he's like, listen, you're in my space.
This is
Get
mine.
out of my space.
I don't think it's an ancient animal.
Nah.
I'd feel bad if it was. That would suck.
No.
What?
Yeah, I don't think so.
That
It was
thing has to be trapped in there for over 25,000 years.
Maybe it was frozen.
I mean, at the same
Frozen.
time, I don't know what life is still left on this planet after this thing went
There
and
is, I
hibernated.
guess that thing. I didn't even think
You-
of that there
Yeah,
is
you know
nothing
what's-
still on that planet.
You know
One
what's still
creature?
left on this planet? A destroyed Mel.
I know.
Uh,
I
There's no-
seriously thought
There's no
somehow Mel was
traces of
going to
Mel
make
left.
it.
There's no traces of Mel left. Mel's not on that planet. Mel's nowhere.
Well, at least there's a backup. You know, that's why you practice good redundancy, guys. You got to
Mel
back up your
is
data in
Stardust.
3 locations, okay? So when one goes down, you still got 2 left.
they've had some pretty ruthless deaths this season because we
The
had.
droids. They hate droids.
Yeah.
Well, for who was the other droid
What do you
Theo.
mean?
this season?
Teo.
Last episode, man.
Teo, yeah. But Teo, they brought him
They
back.
got
Well,
demolished.
No,
He
they
died.
didn't.
They did. They brought him back only
I've
to
died
mess him
before.
up even harder.
They've killed him twice now.
okay, yeah.
Um,
But that was like a comedic one.
Oh,
I'm
Do you
talking
think
like
Mel-
early on there was Wilco, and then
Yeah.
there was the
but
guy
you're
in the
talking
crowd
deaths
last
in
week.
general. I'm sorry, you're talking deaths in general. I thought you were talking about droids, and I'm like, excuse me.
Listen, the only deaths that
Matt likes
matter
droids.
in this on this podcast is droid deaths. I mean, what clone deaths? What am I saying? It's like that meme of like, which
Um,
button do you press?
But yeah,
I-
that's it. That's
I
interesting.
find it funny that you bring up Wilco and the guy in the audience last week who got shot, and not literally anybody
Hey,
that,
that
that
tried to have a good
Crosshair
time.
or Cody mowed down in episode 2 or episode
the difference
3.
between like because last week and this week were both very resistance feel episodes, like we kind of been saying.
Yeah.
Mm.
A tomb episode and like a racing episode. But the difference was resistance wouldn't have killed off that guy in the crowd.
No.
And they wouldn't
wouldn't.
have killed off Mel.
Yeah, they resistance couldn't even kill a droid. You're totally right.
Right.
Resistance, they couldn't even fire a blaster.
They did
Taz
kill
couldn't
off
even
that
kill a
Kawaki
droid.
monkey lizard. They killed off that
That's
Kawaki monkey
true.
lizard that Poe
Oh.
shoots. Remember that? Sad.
Oh, that's
the
That's
big
because-
one.
That's because Poe did it.
That's because Poe did it.
Poe's
Poe can kill.
allowed.
Poe's allowed
Yeah.
to kill. Poe's allowed
Poe-
to murder.
Poe has a license to kill with the Republic.
Actually, I'm pretty sure he mows down a ton of stormtroopers. I actually think that's like legit, if I'm
Yeah.
remembering correctly. I tried to do a resistance
can
death
only-
count and I lost count.
You can only solve so many problems with racing.
Anyway, Bad
Um,
Batch.
Bad Batch, they're in the tomb with the puzzle. I liked the puzzles a lot, the whole moving the things around, and
Yeah.
I loved the use of the compass. Like I thought that was really cool. There were so many elements to it as well, of the fact that the coordinates are on it in the first place of the planet or the system, and it's like, all right, this is where you need to go. And then once you get there, then it's like it starts like vibrating and making like noise, and they're all like, "Whoa, what is that?"
Hold on, do
It was
your
very much a
compass
Sea of
impression
Thieves
again. That was
quest.
great.
It's
That was so good.
just
It very
starts,
much felt like
vibrating.
Beats quest.
Okay. It says take 10 steps east at the Painted Crab. Where's that?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, it's exact. It's it.
I thought you said Weast.
Oh my god, how have I
Um,
not made that joke yet with my friends on our stream?
Hey,
Lost
it's all good. But it goes back right into it was just so like hitting every beat of this woman's a pirate and this is a pirate heist, like
Yeah.
all of it. And like I love how just everything and Hunter's like, oh, you're a pirate, and then she's like, oh no, I'm a liberator of like lost goods or whatever. Or antique goods.
She's a pirate.
Lost goods.
It's funny how she's like, okay, I know that we're still gonna need this. I'm going to have to inevitably give this up, or we will be stranded here and die. But I still feel you owe me. Like that was that was
Perfect.
rich.
Yeah, right.
Perfect.
That was amazing. Absolutely love one more thing on the compass. I love when Omega puts it in the hole, and then the thing goes in, and she can't get it out. And she's like really pissed off, and then she's like, "The
Yes.
mountain reclaimed it." I love Omega. The entire episode, just her ooh ah attitude
pumped.
is
She was
just
having a
so
blast.
funny. She's just it's like the innocence of childhood, just running around, going on adventures, and being like ooh ah.
Nothing
Because-
scares her at all.
No,
She
Very
hasn't
head in the
had
clouds.
she hasn't had an adventure like this. It's always just been job, 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 mission, job. Omega, don't do that. You're gonna get killed. It's job, job, job. That's what it's been. And so she hasn't had an adventure in which it was literally just they were just walking around looking for something until
I
this
enjoyed-
moment.
I enjoyed the like 18th hole at a mini golf course feel that it had when she put the compass in. And it's like, nope, can't have it back. It's-
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
right.
yeah, the
Not
ball's
fair.
gone.
Yep.
not fair.
But yeah, like
Also-
this, I just want to reiterate that like the opening of season 2 also felt very Pirates of the Caribbean, like the Dead Man's Chest opening scene with the beach and running away from all the cannibals, and it's
Oh.
just like just continually hitting this like
Big pirate.
is the bad. I think the Bad Batch may seriously become pirates, and if that's the case, where's Hondo?
He's I don't know. I hope he's
We're
on
gonna
his
see him.
way.
We're gonna see him. I think
Where's
He
we're
knows
Hondo?
Hondo, right?
He's gonna
he
show
has to
up.
know Hondo.
yeah,
He's
Fee's gotta know.
They got to be buds.
Okay.
They
Gotta.
definitely drink together.
Where's Hondo? Where's Maz? And where is young Sidon Ithano?
Yes.
They're all dating.
What if we saw Sidon before he gets the helmet?
Oh, be still. Oh my god. Imagine that.
Oh my god, big black ridge.
That'll be a 2-hour. That'll
I
be a
would love
2-hour
it.
reaction.
Oh my
stream.
god.
Delphidians, man, they're the coolest.
Yeah, Delphinians
to
are like a
the-
really, really cool species.
They are. Back to the
The hallway.
back to Jamie mentioned them doing missions. This one's kind of different because they just run off with Fee. Like, where was Sid? They just kind of I don't know. Sid's like kind of their boss, right? So like
Yeah.
Yeah.
they didn't really check in with her. They're just like, see ya.
Sid's not really
They
their
didn't
boss.
have any reason to do this. It just innate curiosity and the fact that if they didn't, they might lose out on some
Sure.
dosh. You know, like that was their only motivation. And like Omega just like, well, I mean, obviously I want to have fun. Like, can we just have fun for once, guys? Is that okay?
I
Is that
think
okay? Come
I
on.
think this will kind of add up to because I know there's people out there where they're like, oh, this isn't really advancing the plot. I don't know, but and it's been a racing episode and this another treasure hunt episode. But I think the fact that they're not like amounting to anything, like they're not getting the treasure, so they might be like Echo and Hunter are gonna be like, guys, like this isn't doing anything for us. Like, let's do something meaningful, maybe. You know, so I think that's
It
kind of
could
the
be.
point.
They are in a
Because
sense. They
they're 0
keep
for 2 on the
failing.
treasure. Yeah.
I mean, they do keep failing at everything. I know Tech won the race last week, but at what cost? Because
Yeah.
if
Right.
anything, it's
They
just
didn't
like, well, now it's gonna be like on the radar of like the Empire. So
Well,
They
yeah,
could
and
see
that
themselves
and
become more on the red as a result. Yeah.
it was just to save Sid. Like, it wasn't for any like cash. It was cash, wasn't it? Actually,
It was, but
Cash
then they
and Sid?
lost.
It
Yeah,
wasn't a
and-
filler episode, though. I mean,
No.
it could be, but I think it isn't only because it hinted at a potential future plot in a future episode. And I feel that shows that only focus on like the main path of your story have kind of ruined audiences, modern audiences, because we're so expectant of like take Stranger Things, for example. It wastes no time on filler. I mean, like maybe a scene, but never a whole episode just to like have fun and goof around with the Stranger Things kids. As much as I'd love that, there's no time
Right.
for this
unless
in the
unless you're
plot
11
that
and
they've
you,
got.
and you run away and slick your hair back and
Right.
although
Yeah,
that was
And we all
necessary.
loved that episode, right? No, but
Yes.
but see, that's the thing. It's such a short season because it's only like what 7 or 8 episodes per season on those kinds of shows, which are much more common now on with streaming shows being the dominant form. That people don't know what to do with themselves when they find these nice character building episodes. Like that's what I think of them as. Like this is a moment for them to like realize, hey, maybe it's not always about getting a prize. Maybe sometimes it's just okay to loosen up and just go with the flow. Like we don't always have to have a plan. Doesn't always have to be like this strict thing with like a set payout.
Yeah, like Resistance, one of the best Star Wars shows, let alone like animated show, and like there's literally episodes of them trying to get fruit. So like,
Wow, you said
Yeah.
Resistance. And
that was a
not
bold
Rebels.
show.
Oh my God.
Bold- I think
Yeah,
you're
I
right.
was like-
Yeah.
I was
like,
absolutely shocked.
I know
when
we
you're
like Resistance on the
Resistance.
show, but one of the best.
One of the best
Rebels,
shows
Rebels.
of all time. I was like, oh
yeah,
man.
hot take.
Hot
I wasn't
takes-
gonna be the
hot
first.
takes today.
Hey, Rebels, Resistance, they're the same. They're synonyms.
Look, like the
Similar
lead
vibes.
the lead up to that, and it was just like, whoa, whoa now.
We've talked
But
about
you're right, you're
Resistance
right.
a lot on this one.
Yeah, we have.
You know,
It's like
it's if you're expecting a half an hour animated show to only have episodes that advance the plot, you're not watching the right show.
Think about it this way.
Half an hour animated show has ever done that. I can't think of
No.
a single show that's ever had just like one season dedicated to an entire plot with no like filler, quote unquote,
Yeah,
or
no
just
kid
no
show.
side quests. It just
Think
doesn't happen.
about watching the Clone Wars. How many episodes do you skip when you watch the Clone Wars? Because
The
you
Droid
know,
episode with Weaver
like-
Gascon.
everyone has a short list of episodes that you'll
Every
skip.
Jar Jar
It just
episode.
happens. But that doesn't. But sometimes
Sometimes
you'll
I
have
like
like a
the Jar
really
Jar.
big feeling to like rewatch like a silly arc like that, and then you'll rewatch it and be like, oh, I know why I skipped
Matt
it.
doesn't even rewatch the Blue Shadow virus episode.
I know.
watch the Blue Shadow virus.
It's a great episode.
Nah. That's not the
Some-
episode. Is that the episode where Tarples bites the dust?
No,
No.
that's a different one.
No.
Whatever. That one's also on Naboo, right? So
That's the one where Padme and Ahsoka get poisoned as well.
Yeah.
and, like
Yeah,
really
I
stressful.
don't.
It's
And
a good
the-
arc.
That one.
The Bomb Squad
Objectively
clones.
good
and-
arc.
Yeah.
It is a good
Um,
one.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
maybe.
Anyway,
Matt's skipping the filler.
We're setting each other straight.
That's it,
He's
skipping.
going against his point of enjoying.
The
I
last
don't know.
time I watched Clone Wars was 2020. That's 3 years
You-
ago.
you
Most
know
shows-
the exact time.
Yeah, I
So,
watched it in
like-
2020 when the pandemic started.
What makes me laugh is that like, would you really want? It's a 12 episode season, right?
For the Bad Batch, I
16.
think it's 16.
16. Okay, even better. Would you really want 16 episodes of just hard, straight up plot the whole way through, constantly advancing this? It'd be an exhausting 16 episodes. You need breaks. Like that's why I love older Star Trek versus newer Star Trek, because in older Star Trek they could have a baseball episode,
They did,
Uh,
yeah.
and there's no fun to
You're
be
right.
had on new Star Trek
But-
most of the time.
Here's the difference, though.
Next Generation has a bunch of those kinds of episodes. I
Yeah.
love those.
Yeah,
Here's
because they paid for those episodes. Sorry, Jen.
No, it's okay. Here's the difference though. That is genuine filler. That is exactly what that was. They
How
have,
dare you take me out to the holodeck?
but this is literally they're focusing on specific characters, so that way it's gonna
Mm-hmm.
come up later on in the season. That's what it is. That's what
Well, yeah.
all of it has been. And so like they focused on Tech last week to show that hey, he's really capable at like doing this. And they focused this week on introducing Fee. That's what this was, and how the batch knows her. And they're also like, we don't really trust her or like her. But at the end of this episode, they kind of trust her a little bit more, and Omega
Yeah.
really likes her. So like that's really important.
Yeah.
And now we move forward knowing that like Fee is kind of an ally to them at this point.
Yeah,
So it's
definitely.
important.
No,
Absolutely.
you're right.
Yeah.
And you know, that's kind of what Star Trek Next Generation does. When it doesn't have an episode that's part of an arc, you know, just like a singular one-off adventure or something like that, they usually use that to develop a character. Usually they'll focus on somebody who's not Will Riker or
Yeah.
the Doctor
the-
from
and
season
the-
2.
One of the best episodes of DS9 is focused on a total side character, Nog, about how he has like a broken
Nog.
leg and PTSD. And
Nog.
back to Bad Batch. Sorry, just wanted
Yes.
to-
Anyway, Bad
Please,
Please,
Batch.
no Star Trek.
character episodes
Um,
are so important.
Yes.
Yeah. And I mean, another thing about it is, especially with an animated show, I got to Rebels late in the game and I binged it all, mostly with Clone Wars too.
Same.
Like you're able to watch a bunch of it at one time. Like we're stuck with these, once a week, 25-minute episodes. So it sticks out a bit more when you're like, we get that amazing Crosshair and Cody episode, but then we get like Tech Racing. It's really different vibes, but then we get to go back to like Andor. We were eating every week with that. So
Well, Andor wastes no time either. Like,
Right.
I feel like that
Except
was a
for all the
show that was
cereal.
very focused on what it wanted to do.
Andor didn't have time to waste.
No, it did not.
That's
So-
true, but it had the most episodes out of any of the live action shows.
It's
And
true.
it still
It
didn't
definitely
have
helped it.
any time to waste.
No, it
I
really
know.
didn't.
That's the crazy part, isn't it? Oh man.
It's impressive.
So I
Such a
think
fun
like
show.
if you're able to watch Bad Batch all in a row, like down the line, there's gonna be someone that hasn't watched Bad Batch. Obviously, they're gonna watch all of season 1 and 2, and if there's a season 3 in a row, and they're like, oh man, like that Tomb mission, Entombed episode was really fun, and like I got
Yeah.
to watch 3 episodes in a row rather than just that one.
Yeah.
I totally agree. Like, because we're waiting each week for these episodes. We're excited to see what's happening, and if it's not what you quite expected, maybe you really want to see what's going to happen next in the season. That is totally fair, and
Yeah.
you will get that. They've plotted this whole thing out. It's all planned. And like you said, like in the context of after it's all aired, it's not going to be as stressful to anyone because you'll know the plot, you'll know how it ends, and you'll know
Yeah.
if you've got a good story or not.
I think that there's a big expectation out there from a lot of fans that it is the Clone Wars sequel, and it is, but it's also it's not. It's the story about the Bad Batch, and so I think that needs to be remembered here. Is it's a show
Yeah.
about this group. It's
Yeah.
not
Just
about
the same animation,
everything
but
else. It's
yeah.
just the same
It's
animation.
their
and
context.
the same people who like worked on it, but like it's their context. It's how the Bad Batch is navigating this world,
a lot less
including
Jedi.
Crosshair.
Yeah.
So like we'll see like it that way. So I think that is really important to remember. Is it's not a sequel to the Clone Wars.
100%, because like that's what people thought Rebels was, and like
It's a sequel to that.
kind of maybe closer than Bad Batch is, and that's a weird argument to think about.
Yeah.
But when you think
Rex,
thematically,
Ahsoka.
I totally agree, Jamie. Like Clone Wars is this massive scaling anthological series about 10, 15 years worth of war. I think I'm goofing that. No, not that long. Sorry, I was thinking of Anakin's Jedi paddle. Anyway,
At least you didn't call it resistance.
however many years of Clone Wars war there is. And then it's about that. It's about covering all that. But Bad Batch is about the context of
Just this group.
this crew, what happens to them after this major event, Order 66, and the formation of the Empire, and what that means for their identity as former clone soldiers in a world that no longer wants them, and also for the clones who are still involved.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna get all that. And that's what makes the show so much better for being itself.
It's that, and it's just an inverse of like Rebels, kind of, because like Rebels is the same way. It's just this group, and then they end up doing something bigger by joining the rebellion. And so this is what this is going to be. It's this group who's always done everything by themselves, but they're gonna have to unite with everyone who they never wanted to work with before, but they're going to have to.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the plot of the show.
Yeah, it's a show about nothing. You go to a race, that's an episode. You go to a temple, that's an episode.
That's an episode. What'd you do today?
What did you do today?
Matt, did you have something to say, or was that it? I saw
That
you
was
like
it.
raise your hand. Okay.
That was it.
It looked like you were gonna say something very like insightful.
Nope.
No, that was
insightful.
That was very important, though.
That's an episode.
Sometimes we need a bit.
So, where did we leave off with this episode?
Oh yeah, we got to the hallway where Hunter forgot that Jehovah starts with an I.
Yep, I was gonna mention that.
Well, it's a good thing he had his
Jedi
grandfather's
starts with an
notebook,
I.
right? His father's notebook. Jeez.
I
Details are escaping me today.
I love that though. So like I love the entire time they're in the temple. This was the first time this season, and possibly in the entire show, we've really seen Hunter use his abilities again. In which like just being like hyper aware of what the hell is going on in there, because he can hear the things approaching, and he has like the really quick reflexes again. But that being said, he's tiptoeing across these stones.
That's true.
Because again, he has these really good senses, but he is a big like blockhead. Like he doesn't use his brain. He has good senses, but he doesn't use his brain. So he didn't know that like there would be
no
some
sense.
Exactly
a little bit.
So he makes it almost all the way, and then
Omega chucks a rock.
Chuck rock
later on,
No.
yeah,
Kind of like Indy throwing the dust across the
across
what do we
the
call it?
leap
Little
of faith.
bridge. Leap of faith, yeah.
yeah.
Well, I was suspicious of Fee once they got separated. I mean, I assume she didn't like cause any of this, but I don't know. She's very out for herself, or at least she makes herself out to be. In the as much as I knew her of her at that point, so
Yes,
I was
and
worried
no,
she might
though.
pull something.
Yes and no, because she also would like protect people like as it came up. Like she went out of her way to push Wrecker out of the way when the stones dropped
Oh, yeah,
immediately.
that's
Like,
true.
no one else even got to him in time. But
That must
like,
have been tough to push a record too.
she did it.
That would take
Um,
Top
everything.
heavy.
If you get the momentum going, hey, Fennec Shan could knock him out completely. So like, I mean,
Right in the sewer.
it's possible. And then she rescues Hunter, and then he in turn rescues her. But like, she's not complete. She knows that they're also her right out of there. So like,
Well, she's not
Yeah.
a bad person. I
No.
think
No, I don't
we
think
don't
so.
trust her because we don't know her, but like
right.
clearly she's not a bad person.
Yeah, ask Mel.
Oh,
What
But do you
was-
think Mel remembers? Because like if that's
No.
a backup, it's not like the backup has iCloud sync with the one that got torn to shreds.
That's
Like,
the
even,
axe-
that's the even
Hey.
the axe
scarier part.
forgets?
Mel never remembers any of her deaths. No deaths.
That's
Just,
that's dark, man.
just upload it again. Just like, oh, here I am.
It's like, wow,
Better
what
faith
did
than
I
L3,
miss?
I guess.
What if they upload Mel into Gonki?
Wow.
Would that
Mel
be?
is the perfect
That just
combination
broke
of
everyone's brain.
Mel is the perfect combination of Gonki and Clink. Like I was having a conversation with someone that literally Mel is the child of like a Gonk droid and Clink because it has
You're
like
right.
the stubby legs.
Yeah.
Clink.
It's perfect.
Just
I
trying to
love that
imagine
episode.
like two non-verbal droids and how their personalities can mesh into one droid.
Yeah, that's what Mel was.
And we take
Why
all
didn't
of
they
those
bring-
and we upload them to the Millennium Falcon.
Why didn't they bring AZ on this mission?
Why don't they
AC,
bring him anywhere? He can
What
float.
would he have done?
He
he
can
works
float. He can do
They
anything
could have
he
just
wants.
held on
He
to
can
him.
carry
and
somebody.
He could be a motorcycle, jet ski.
he
Motorcycle
works
jet ski.
at the bar. He has a job.
He could be a
takes
giant
it
flashlight.
He's got his own
seriously.
life.
He can't afford to quit the job because
Why
then his
can't he
boss
afford
will
it?
get mad.
He's a
Droids
really
don't
good
need
host.
money. He's
No,
What's
that's a
the
really
right
good
currency?
question.
working for her.
Power. Electricity. Oil.
Because who wants that energy when you're trying to raid a tomb? Shut up. We're trying to figure this out. Can you stop talking for 5 seconds? Easy?
That's
He
why
he
they
can
don't.
float over the
yeah.
rocks, guys. That's what I'm saying. In
Um,
fact,
Yeah, he would have been able to pick up Hunter.
in a
no
world
problem.
with anti-grav, that rock trap is almost completely useless.
Ancient.
You just float over it.
Ancient.
You think that they built this giant walking camel and they don't have anti-grav technology back then?
I don't know.
I don't know. I doubt it.
Do you
The
remember
thing
when we
was
were
walking.
like breaking down the trailer and we were like, "You think that's a Zillow piece?"
No.
I
I mean,
remember
I remember that, but I was always like, no, that's a different thing.
It looked very
Yeah.
odd.
If
I'm glad it was
only.
like a machine. Yeah.
Big
Still want
Horizon Zero
closure.
Dawn robot.
I called it the fart
Yeah.
robot, and I stand by that.
Horizon Zero Dawn or Breath of the Wild, just like big giant mech, you got to have a big fight and
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
good.
Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah, that too.
Although those aren't mechs.
Do they have lasers in Shadow Colossus?
Mm,
I
there's
think they
one-
usually
I
just
think
don't
one
they
has
just
like
crawl
lightning.
around and go. Brrr.
Yeah.
That's what this thing did.
That's what
Um,
it is.
That's fair. That's fair.
So they get into the inner sanctum of the entire operation.
The inner
Um,
sanctum of the entire operation.
Yes. Sorry.
Check that. Get smart. Check it
Get
off.
smart.
Check it off the
2008.
bingo cards.
Chad,
guys.
did you make a bingo card? He said he was gonna.
But no, so they get to the inner portions of this entire thing, and Fee just goes for it immediately, and everyone else is just kind of like watching, like, all right, well, I guess this is it, and then it all just falls apart. I
Like
love
say,
how it was a textbook case of it. That was the thing that was protecting everything else and making sure it was like dormant. It's just another
what
perfect
does that
little
even- it just
adventure
doesn't make
trope.
sense to me.
I
What-
feel
how does
you
this
should
thing
put
work?
yeah.
You stick a crystal in a hole
It just goes to
and
town.
you put it to sleep.
You,
You take the crystal out of the hole and it wakes up. But then if you put the crystal back in the whole thing just blows up.
well,
They put it in a
I
different
think it's
one.
more like
Yeah.
Oh,
my,
yeah, I
my
guess
theory
they
is like
did.
this is something that like got out of control, and they're like,
Okay.
"There's only one way we can stop it," and so they
One
pop
way
that
out.
in there. It's like
One
okay,
big rock.
but if we take that out again, and you put it back, it's all over. So they're like, leave
Yeah.
a sticky note, and then the sticky note, you know those things, they fall off after like 3 days. So
That
like,
thing was
you
dusty.
25
You
after
saw it.
25,000
Yeah,
years,
yeah.
that sticky note's
gotta
not
clean the
sticking around.
surface before you put it on.
That's
It
true.
was
no, but-
such a cool like little piece too though, because it was very to me it was very Fifth Element. It looked like one of the stones.
Oh.
Although
Oh,
it was
yeah, it
like
kinda
clear and
did.
transparent, but it literally had like the lines like on the
Maybe
bottom,
it's-
like bit of it
okay.
and everything. I thought that
Bring
was
it-
like
bringing
like,
Fifth
maybe-
Element into this. That's good. That's a good
maybe
bingo
Yeah.
card.
if you're
that's what
gonna
I thought
make-
immediately though.
if you're gonna have a big key for your giant death killing planet glassing mech, maybe don't make it so tantalizing. Just food for thought.
Why do you
like
hang that
my
outside?
goodness,
It's so
how could you not
tantalizing.
take that? put like a blanket over it or something, like a dropout cloth, just
Yeah.
something so no one
Hey, what's
sees
behind
it.
that? Nothing.
Nothing. Just,
Nothing? Nothing.
What do you
Say.
think it was doing there? It was
What do you
probably
mean?
protecting something.
What?
Maybe there's
we back
more
on the-
So you
treasure
mean
there.
the big like
You mean the
machine
mech?
thing?
What was the mech doing on this planet?
I
is
think
what
the
mean.
mech was destroying the planet. I think
Yeah.
the mech destroyed the planet.
So they
And they're like, "Okay,
plugged
job
it
done."
back in, and it just continued what it was doing.
Yeah, it was.
Then it
just
was
Yeah,
like,
'cause
oh,
all
like
it wanted to
Altroid.
do was destroy, and as soon as it saw Mel and the ship, it's like, ooh, there's
Yeah,
something
so
to blow
it
up
was
that I haven't blown up
probably
before.
it probably had some like systems to like check for movement or like anything that wasn't already like obliterated, and it was just like and the big
Yeah,
beam
because
of
first it's
light.
just testing its systems, like, all right, that
Yeah.
still works, cool.
All right,
let's
Check
go
one.
literally the first one. It's just like I'm up. And then-
That's how I wake up every morning, guys.
We gotta put
It's
the,
like Godzilla waking up from a nap.
We got to put
Yeah.
the Jack blowing his nose noise over the
Listen, I already made a different sound effect. Don't do that.
no, the
No,
first one
honestly,
was better.
I kind of want to hear that.
That'd be good. We'll get to work on that.
We'll get right on that one.
Oh, good.
No, but yeah, I
So-
love how and then they're suddenly in like the control room for it, like all the way up top. I said this to AJ while we were rewatching it. They activate this thing and they see that there's a big pulse of energy, but they don't know what the hell this thing looks like because they're inside of
If
it.
only they saw.
That's a good point. They've never seen it.
That's true.
And then they're walking away, so they probably didn't even know like the full scope of the thing, unless like Tech did like a 3D like rendering of it afterwards, which is possible. But like, imagine that. Just sit on that. They're in this thing. They don't know what the hell it is, so they don't know it was this giant metal camel. They just knew it was like something that was destroying everything.
No idea.
I feel like they don't even think it's that weird of a situation.
We
Because
did
It's
it.
they're
not
just-
for them.
We saved the town.
It's hilarious. And then the thing collapses, and they're like, "All right."
They're like,
They
well,
just
I've done
walk
all I can do.
Yeah,
Walk
I mean,
away.
how is that any different to downing like an ATTE on Raxus? You know, like it's,
Yeah,
But at
like,
least that's something they've
it's
seen.
like 3 or 4 ATTEs stacked on top of
This
each
would be
thing
like
is
if the four of
huge.
us went out in like Area 51 and like I don't even know. Like,
Where were you going with that?
Some- some
Can you
ancient
finish
thing.
that?
the
did
way
they ever
that
did the guy ever do the Naruto run across Area
Yes,
51?
we did.
Oh my god, yes, he did. He did.
Remember that?
Yeah. Oh, I remember that.
Those
What was
are
that?
the days.
2018.
What a wild time.
Man.
the Bad Batch's method is make the plan, expect the plan to go completely off the rails, throw away the plan. That's it.
Destroy giant mech.
Destroy
Go
giant mech. Do something else.
Be shocked
But,
that the plan went awry.
Yep.
Yeah. They know it's gonna go like disastrously. I love when they're in like this like fight. Of course, the like Deathclaw creature like appears and is like attacking them, and like they can't shoot it because it doesn't like work. I love how Wrecker realizes, hey, shoot the windows, and I'll just throw it out the window. Like that's. It's
Yeah,
good. Top tier.
because all he knows is smash.
But hey,
Yep.
He's like smash window.
nobody else was thinking of it though.
What if that
Because nobody
creature's
else
stowing
thinks
You,
of
away?
you watched a little bit of WWE the night before, and you're just like, listen, I saw this move. I'm just going to try it out.
Yeah.
They really messed this guy up. They broke his horn off and then they threw him out a window.
they killed
My
that
man
guy.
was just taking a
probably
nap
lived.
and then had some Home Alone style intruders and
Yeah.
just
Wrecker
tried to
killed a
defend his
guy.
honor.
Wrecker killed it.
I saw that. Listen, you should probably lay low and stay with your cousin or something because you probably wanted for murder.
Check.
Yeah, and then
Yes.
someone in the chat mentioned the guys were like, "Oh, it's like an alien creature." Probably just like followed them in originally. So, oh, cool! I glitched. Nice, awesome.
Yeah.
I think I got that.
Fantastic.
The monster
if it-
might have followed them. In.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah. The monster followed them in, and then
Okay.
was creeping on
That's a
them.
good point.
So next
sneaking
week
in the halls.
Hey, you guys, what are you
is
doing?
Tribe,
Try.
which we think we know we're going to see a certain Wookiee eventually,
Yes.
little Wookiee, and we're going to see Kashyyyk eventually, most likely. So maybe that's the episode, or I'm just steering everyone in the wrong direction. It's something else.
My first thought with the word tribe, in the Expanse, like they like mentioned how like when something awful happens, like you stick with your tribe, like your closest people, and
Yeah.
like for this to be the Bad Batch, like that's their tribe, if you will. And so like maybe like the question of like, oh, like where does like if Cody defects or like runs away or something, oh, he did. So like if he contacts the Bad Batch and is like, hey, what's up? Like would they go like, oh, can we take him in? What do we do? Do we send him to Rex? Is Rex a friend of ours? Maybe that whole
Is
concept.
Rex a friend of ours?
I know he is. I know.
Well,
That
he
guy
knows
would
the
shoot
That was a dumb
in the
supposition.
face if you said that to him.
They trust
No,
Rex.
no.
First of all, how dare you?
Well, that's okay.
It'd be nice to get another Crosshair episode again, because like they did this last season where half of that one episode, I think it was like episode 2, where the Bad Batch is fighting that weird flashlight monster on that moon,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
Crosshair has his crew and they go after Saw Gerrera. But
Mhm.
like
Commit war
it was
crimes.
it was cool to just see Crosshair
Yeah.
sometimes, and like we got that
Mm.
episode a few weeks ago, and I feel like we're not gonna like have one of those for another 5 weeks or something.
Maybe
Like,
Crosshair makes friends. Maybe that's his tribe.
it could be.
You think that guy is making friends out there?
He has a sleepover. He can show
Or
everybody
maybe
his
he's like,
pajamas.
I miss
he doesn't
my
have any
tribe.
blankets.
Why doesn't anyone like to hang out with me? I think I'm perfectly fine to talk to.
He says as he eats his
Yeah,
soup.
Crosshair, you're fine. You're fine. I don't know what it is. They're jerks. Okay, don't worry about them.
I'm sorry, Crosshair. I'm busy. I can't. I'm
Oh, me?
Oh.
No. Sorry. I got
I
target
got
practice.
something.
Oh my
Cody.
god!
You can come over my place. I don't have any blankets, but
I just like to sleep on a
we
slab.
can hang out.
Alan Rickman as Crosshair.
I can't do it. Jack's good. I'm not the impressions guy. Okay.
No, that'd be it. Where's the Bad Batch?
Turn
I'd like to
page
speak with him.
394.
Hunter, why did you abandon me?
Oh man.
Not good. Okay, I was pulling up the episode listing actually just so I could
I was vamping for you.
get back
I was
into this.
helping.
So next week is called Tribe, right? So I would love if it was somehow the Gunji episode like that. That would be wicked cool. But I like where
Yeah,
Jack's going with the whole like maybe it's like just your group and whatnot. Because again, like this episode was called Entombed.
They didn't
And
do
I
it.
mean they were in a tomb, but like
But they
I
were
don't
not
know.
end.
They almost got entombed.
Yeah.
They
Almost.
were for a second. in
Remember
the
when
do-
we
in the-
thought Tech was gonna get injured?
Remember when he did get injured? Oh, I actually this is
In
something
this
to mention.
episode?
In the first
Oh,
episode,
episode 2.
Yeah, in the first
Um,
episode. Yeah.
so this was actually something that I found wicked interesting as well. In the very beginning, Fee is like embellishing on her stories and talking, and Tech mentions how like this is like she's saying it like differently this time. It's again showing us a lot more time has progressed. And so they're casually always telling us, hey, a lot of time is happening, more time is happening. They're doing a lot of jobs. More time is passing. They're just casually just like shoving that out there.
Well, that's also the point of these episodes. It's like
Yeah.
they're doing these like not this wasn't mundane, but like last week they did the racing thing and the other two were doing the nugget delivery. So it's like they're doing these mundane things. They want it to kind of feel like time has passed. They have 16 episodes to play with, so
Yeah.
it's kind of the
Yeah.
way it is.
So next week is Tribe, and the ones after that it's a two-parter. They're releasing 2 on
Ooh.
the 8th.
At once?
All right.
The Clone Conspiracy and Truth and Consequences. So I
Okay.
would count on that's probably going to involve Crosser in some point, or I think we're going to end up seeing Rex.
Andor? Wow.
Andor. No, I would say we're going to see Rex during that time
Maybe-
because
Maybe
guess
that's the
who
third
knows about the entire conspiracy? Rex does. Way
Vibes.
too much.
Kicks.
Are you
True.
saying? But are you saying Andor's going to be in it? Like Cassie?
I
Gonna be in
didn't.
the
I didn't
episode?
say. Look, I didn't
Wow,
say
what?
Andor. I just can't speak well. Okay.
It wasn't even that. It's just the phrase and this and or that. It's like
No.
I didn't
Now it's
even catch
broken.
that, so I was like,
Look, I just
I
want
get
Wrecker.
excited when I
Mr.
hear
Krabs
Andor.
made
I just want Wrecker to meet Galen Urso. That's all. That's
Hey,
all.
Galen Erso.
Hey, Galen Urso. That's all I want. I want him
It's
to say
not.
that.
It's not.
I don't want to go into like what we saw from the trailer again because I've already done that like 3 times. But
There's a few shots left.
I haven't watched the trailer, so
Gunji.
Really?
You know what was in the trailer? This in 2 shots.
Oh
But-
boy.
It was in this
Tell us more.
episode for the
Us.
first time.
So we've already seen the vest shot. We don't have to worry about that.
Anyway. But no, the one shot that we thought was going to be in this episode was Tech and Omega sitting next to each other and look like they're trapped somewhere. We thought that was going to happen this episode since it was named Entombed, but it didn't. So that's still
that's still one for the
a ways away.
future.
One for Tribe, I guess.
And he's wearing
Andor.
his vest in that shot.
Invested.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm invested.
Entombed and invested.
Yeah.
Jamie's invested, all right. She already made that joke, but
I
better.
dropped that earlier,
Hey!
like way earlier. No one caught it.
Hey,
That's fine.
Kyle Katarn.
I have a vested interest in these kind of puns, but that's
Hey,
fine.
Kyle
You
Katarn.
missed you. First of all, great pun again. But you missed Kyle Katarn popping up on screen. You missed
Oh,
him again.
I was too busy being melodramatic. Hey, buddy. That's my boy.
It's okay. It's cold in here. That's what I thought today when
Oh my god.
I walked
I
out.
So should I-
I just once again he says that literally once in
That's
in
his
level 2
catchphrase.
in
That's his
Kejima.
Jeez, it's
No.
cold.
That's
I'm
his
glad you remember it.
catchphrase.
His catchphrase is "It's locked"
Mm-mm,
because he
mm-mm.
always says it's locked if
No.
you don't know where you're going and you hit
Whenever-
every door.
Whenever you ask anybody on the street about Kyle Katarn, they'll say, "Oh yeah, he's the Jesus cold guy, right?"
Why
Is
do
it-
you guys hurt me? Why do
What
you
you
If
talking
you ask-
about?
What does he actually say? He just says it's
he
cold.
says,
in here.
"Geez, it's freezing in here."
Oh, he says
Oh,
it's Jesus.
The line is
freezing
burned
in
into
here.
my head. Okay,
He
that's what I'm
says
saying.
"Geez."
Yeah.
And it's so memorable for Matt and I because we literally thought he was about to say Jesus. It's cold.
We
in
were
here."
like, I was like, Jesus.
Well, I
Wait
mean,
a
Han
minute.
tells you he'll see
Yeah.
you in hell, so I mean, we already
Yeah,
know that's
well,
a
yeah.
concept.
Hell's already a thing. It's exegol.
Jedi. I don't
So next week we see Gonki. I
Mhm.
guess should I make my little like schedule announcement that
No.
I made for
We'll hang
Mm.
off for now. We'll update as we get closer.
Gonki
Alright.
Watch continues.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I was like, was I informed of this? But yeah, I think I was. I was like, wait a minute.
Wait a sec.
Wait a second.
If I wasn't paying attention.
I'll inform you. You'll be hearing from me.
Maybe.
My people will talk to your people.
All right.
But
Oh
yeah.
boy.
That was
Alright.
Bad Batch season 2, episode 5, Entombed.
hmm Oh, you want me to do the outro? Yeah, we're done.
Yes.
Hey.
Yeah, so for my updates on making my vest, please follow me at Jim the Jedi. That's where you can find everything, and that's it. That's the show. No, I'm kidding. You can find everything for HoloNet Marauders on at HoloNet Marauder on Twitter and on Instagram and everything. We're at HoloNet Marauders. You can find all of our updates there. If you've been listening to this, you can also watch this on YouTube. If you've watched on YouTube, thanks for tuning in. You can take us with you to go on your favorite audio listening platform. Links are in the description. Thank you so much for listening to the HoloNet Marauders podcast, everybody. See you next week.
See ya.
Bye.